Hey guys, I'm sorry that I missed that. Just as I was about to start the reading, a bumblebee came in through the window. So I don't know if bumblebees have any significance to you, and I'm sorry about my wrinkly uh, sheet today and my sopping wet hair. I've just just had a shower, so like I don't know, chaos at the start of this reading. I had two very vivid dreams last night, so I do feel like a message is trying to come through for somebody. I've already pulled some cards off camera to kind of get an idea of what they wanted to talk about, and it's actually fitting quite well with my dreams. So basically, I had just to kind of say this is a general reading, not a personal reading. Take what resonates, leave anything that doesn't. Sorry about all the background noise. It is what it is. It's timeless when it finds you. It's your reading at that time, and gender is very neutral in tarot. So although there's a lot of like men and women on these cards that I'm going to show you in a minute, just know that you can flip it if you feel like you need to. I feel like I am dealing with a female energy here though, just because sorry, extremely noisy. I swear it wasn't this noisy 2 minutes ago before I started this reading. I like the bird noises though, so I don't know if you can hear those in the background. Um, so the common thing between both of these dreams was that I was in a situation that I didn't particularly want to be in. And kind of like you find right place, right time, or wrong place, right time, or whatever you want to say. So in both of these dreams, I was in this place with other people around. Both of the dreams had two women, which is going to be significant because I would technically be the third woman. And yeah, it was a situation I didn't want to be in. It was uncomfortable in both of these circumstances. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be there. But I ended up in both of these dreams having to step up and take control of the situation or take action. Funny that the action card is here. I was kind of like... there was kind of like a snap moment, if you like, a tower moment in both of these dreams, and I took action. It's like... being forced into a situation you didn't want to be in and then being forced to act. So sort of trigger warning here for people. The first dream that I had was I was part of this. It was almost like a class of people, and we were doing a seance, and I was there because I was like good at seances. Apparently I've never done a seance in my life. I guess it's something to do with the tarot cards, right? And the two girls were kind of like ghosts or something. I don't know. Dreams don't make sense, right? I was aware of the presence that kind of had brought us all together, kind of like the teacher kind of presence. But there was this kind of young man as well, I'd say like late teens, early 20s, who clearly had some sort of trauma in his life. The only thing I can't remember what any of these people looked like, other than that the lad had a scar on his cheek. He clearly had some kind of trauma in his life. He did not want to be there. He was very skittish, very uncomfortable with the whole situation. And as the kind of seance-y type thing progressed and we started to do different activities, the girls became increasingly uncomfortable with it, to the point where I thought, this is not something, I'm putting a stop to this. It was like a snap decision. It was like, no, I'm done. And I completely shut it down. And I went round to each person and kind of did a little, I've never done this in my life. It's just kind of like you watch things like Most Haunted and you kind of pick up these things, right? And I went round to each person, like grabbed them and said like a little 1 or 2 word sentence to make sure that nothing kind of followed them home. And I remember the last person I kind of grabbed, including the two girls, the last person I kind of grabbed was the boy, and I said, he was so frightened. It's like, when people are so frightened that they're not even really looking at you. And I remember just staring at the scar on his cheek and holding his lapels and being like, you're safe, nothing's going to follow you home. I think that what I was saying to them was like, your soul is your own, something like that. So there's something to that. So I'm describing my dreams because it may be relevant to somebody, it may not be relevant to anybody. So take it as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. Dreams are clearly very metaphorical. And as I say, the commonality was that I was the person who said, right, enough of this, I'm taking action. The second dream I had, I mean, the first dream was incredibly uncomfortable, and I'm not going to go into detail about why. The second dream was extremely vivid, extremely visceral, quite violent. Okay, so big trigger warning here. I was in the town centre, and clearly there was... the atmosphere, it was very crowded. The atmosphere was tense. It was like it was going to kick off at any moment. So it felt like there were different kind of like gangs in the crowd. There were people selling knockoff gear, like fake gear, a huge crowd around that. And I just thought, I don't want to be in this situation. It feels volatile. I want to leave. I was just there shopping, right? So I was like trying to leave the situation. However, like somebody came and put... again, sort of trigger warning, literally, someone came and put a gun in my hand, and I was like, what do I do with this? So I was still like, I just want to leave. I'm just going to try and leave, and then when I get out of the situation, I'll hand it over to the police or whatever. So I had a gun in my hand, and it was a big one. It was like, and I only know this from playing Tomb Raider. To me, it was a Desert Eagle. It was like a big, like, an 80s looking solid gun. And I hate guns. Agree with gun control, and yeah, it wasn't something that I wanted to be any kind of part of, but better in my hands than somebody who's going to use it, right? So trying to leave the situation, and as I'm trying to get out of the crowd, it's almost like the crowd is coincidentally heading in the same direction. So there's all these people running around me, and I remember these two girls next to me, and all of a sudden one of the girls also has a gun and starts shooting wildly into the crowd, and as she turns to me, I shoot her because I've got the gun in my hand, and it was very instinctive. It was very much like I didn't want to be there. I was trying to leave the situation, but it was like instinct, like self-defense, right? So same thing as the first reading. It was like, there's a threat, I'm shutting this down. There's a threat, I'm reacting, it was extremely visceral. I'm talking like the max rating you'd have on a movie, like in my mouth, all down my front. She flew into the crowd and was not getting back up again. Very, very, extremely vivid. And this is like, I am not a person, I don't enjoy horror movies. I don't like gore and violence and things like this. And for my brain, for my subconscious to show me something so visceral is... I'm a very vivid dreamer, so it was extremely, like, extremely emotive, right? So I don't know what all this is about, but if they're giving me all this, I feel like I need to do a reading on it. So what I've got here is the same kind of scenario as the thinking woman is coming through as kind of like, dream me, whether I was myself or somebody else in my dream, right? Dream me, minding my own business. I'm just there to go to the bookshop, right? But there's a change coming with this butterfly thinking woman. She does look a little bit like lost, she looks like minding her own business kind of thing. And then it suddenly turns into this tower moment of, oh my goodness, I have to take action. But this actually leads, this snap decision to take action, this snap decision to move, to do something, actually leads to abundance. Now, the second dream doesn't feel like this as much as the first dream, because in the first dream I was very much in a protective mode of taking care of people. It was like, I'm putting a stop to this has gone too far. I'm going to take control of this situation. But I did it with a lot of love. I was protecting these people. I was making sure that they were safe. The second dream very much was like a series of unfortunate events. It was very reactive. So I don't know if there's some kind of comparison between the two. It's like, maybe it's like, take action before things spiral out of control, perhaps. Don't be... Because I was trying to leave the situation, right? I wasn't actively trying to control the situation. I don't know if I could have done, perhaps. There could be a message there with that. So the thinking woman taking action, but it's like that moment of action, that choice to take control, leads to something better, leads to the blossoming abundance. Now, that's not how the dream ended, but this is the way that it's saying. Also, a woman holding a heart has daughter value. So there's something to do with taking control, or being kind of perhaps a peacemaker, or being a decision maker, but doing it from the heart space. So let me just move all these up a little bit. Now, the interesting thing that I'm finding with the songs is the first song that played when I got up this morning, and I tweeted about it as well, was Titanium by David Guetta. I'm just going to shut my window.
You're not driving, no?
Just because people are chatting out there. So, yeah, the first song that played when I got up was Titanium by David Guetta, which is the song Shoot Me Down But I Won't Fall, I'm Titanium. It's like I'm bulletproof. The woman in my dream certainly was not bulletproof. So again, I don't know if there's a message in that. I've got my titanium nails, my Mandalorian armor nails on at the moment. So it's not titanium. I've forgotten the word for it now. Oh, that's going to bother me. Okay, so yeah, songs. Slightly distracted from having to shut the window. So the other interesting thing in the songs, and I'll read them all through for you. Another song that you got was Levitating by Madonna, Missy Elliott and Dua Lipa. It's a version of Levitating with those three performers on. So it's interesting that there's three women, because there's three women in the cards, which I'll show you in a moment. So you may be able to hear my son now with his Lego in the background. But the funny thing about that song, Levitating, it talks about, there's lines in there that says moonlight, starlight, moonlight, starlight. Now, the Aquarius reading has just been published on my channel, and I just watched it back a little bit just to make sure that it went up correctly, you know, it rendered properly and things. And I remembered getting the moonlight card, and the Aquarius is the star, and the star card has actually come out. So I feel like this could be connected to the Aquarius reading. Moonlight, starlight. So levitating, it feels like somebody's leveling up, right? Taking action, taking control of their own life, leveling up. The other songs you got through, I'm going to save one, but two of the other songs you got through was Upside Down by Paloma Faith. Again, Paloma, I believe, is a word for peace. It's related to doves, I think. Faith. And then Big Yellow Taxi by Rita Ora. So that's paved paradise and put up a parking lot. So I don't quite know how that fits in, but maybe that's significant to you. So I'm going to go through with the first cards that I pulled, and then I started to clarify. So here we go. This is the way the first cards came out. So what I'm seeing here is conflict. It came out like this as well in pairs. So the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords are both cards about conflict. It can be literal fighting. You know, these people are actually physically aggressive on this card. You know, actually physically fighting. And then the Five of Swords is a card about having fought a battle. It's more of a battle of words or ideas, conflicts of opinion. But the kind of... if you go a bit deeper into the meaning, it can be about winning at all costs, you know, getting the upper hand, but you often win while kind of like damaging relationships. So it's kind of like a hollow victory, the Five of Swords. But with these two cards both being conflict, it's followed by a sense of somebody trying to avoid the conflict or heal the conflict. So here with the Five of Wands, which can talk about competition, fighting, battle, competitiveness in general. The Star card here, which is Major Arcana, kind of, I would say that Major Arcana coming after a Minor Arcana would override. The Major Arcana is much more powerful than a Minor Arcana. Again, the Thinking Woman, quite Aquarian energy here. The Star is about hope and healing. So it's talking to me about perhaps a situation where there has been a lot of conflict, but somebody trying to either heal from it or trying to kind of like pour water on it, to pour emotions on it, pour love into the situation to kind of cool it down. Again, we've got this woman with the heart coming in to kind of like, it's like, where is the love, right? Putting the love into the situation. Perhaps it could be a situation where people have got so competitive that they forgot about the emotions. Again, with this kind of like winning at all costs, it's like it comes with a sense of like damaging the relationships you have with others because you're so intent on winning. This is followed by the Ace of Pentacles, which is like putting a lot of work into something over time. What I'm kind of getting with the way that the cards have come out, both sets, is like there's competition, there's competitiveness, there's arguments, there's conflict, and somebody trying to kind of take themselves out of that situation. Either taking themselves to heal from conflict, you know, to get over it, to take a time out, to take themselves away from that situation, be on their own, you know, get back into their own energy, to heal and have hope for the future, after being in quite a difficult situation. And here it's like avoiding conflict, avoiding drama, avoiding the battle, but really focusing on work, or focusing on working on something, right, with the Eight of Pentacles there. So it's like it feels like somebody's trying to protect themselves, protect the heart perhaps, by removing themselves from some sort of conflict. Now, the way that these cards were well, I've forgotten the word. The way that these, when I tried to confirm these cards, when I pulled more cards to find out more about the situation, we got the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords for this Five of Wands. Now, I don't know if this is two women who are fighting. There's a few different women on the cards, and the way that I clarified, that was the word I was looking for, the way that I clarified the situation, there's two versions of this reading. One is that all the women are the same person, and it's somebody in Empress energy. It was kind of confirmed that way for me. You know, somebody stepping up, taking the lead, you know, putting a lot of love into a situation in order to heal kind of the circumstances, leading with love, I feel, with that woman holding a heart. Another situation is that the conflict is between three different women. So take it as it resonates, leave it if it isn't. Or there's three women involved in the situation. So as I say, you need to figure out which version of this reading is for you. So the Five of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. Now this could be somebody who is a earth sign, somebody who is an air sign, doesn't have to be. It could be somebody who's Capricorn, it could be someone who's Libra, doesn't have to be. Excuse me a second. Okay, sorry, my children just got a bit noisy there for a second. So the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. So it can be Capricorn or Libra as well, doesn't have to be. That's just the meaning of those cards. So there could be some competitiveness between these two people. I am seeing it as women, doesn't have to be, okay? If I was to associate somebody with the Queen of Swords energy, I would say it was the thinking woman. The Queen of, the woman holding a heart is coming soon, so don't worry about that. But it could be that there's some kind of conflict, some kind of competition, some kind of argument between two women of those signs. It doesn't have to be. The Queen of Pentacles is normally somebody who is a wife, mother, boss, somebody who is probably quite good at business, finances, appreciates the finer things in life, really takes care of their appearance, takes care of the surroundings. You know, they've got the day-to-day life covered. It can talk about self-care as well. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's much more strategic, much more logic-based. They often have something to do with communication, or it can be contracts, law, court systems. It's very much like it's kind of the minor arcana of the Justice card in the tarot. So this is somebody who's quite not sharp-tongued in a neither of these women are bad. They're both in the upright. I need to say that very clearly, but the Queen of Swords can be a bit upfront. She draws boundaries, she takes action, she does what needs to be done, and she can be quite blunt about it. But it's almost like ripping a plaster off with the Queen of Swords. It's kind of like being quite sharp, but it's kind of like a kindness to do it quickly. So bit of a difference there between those two energies. So there could be some kind of conflict there because they have different approaches to things, or it could just be that this is two aspects of the same woman in this situation. I'm kind of reading it as this is the person who is trying to heal the situation where there is a lot of conflict. So I'm seeing it all as the same energy, basically. So there's some kind of conflict, some kind of drama, some kind of competitiveness. Somebody's taking some time to heal the situation, trying to pour love into the situation, trying to lead with hope rather than failure, perhaps. And the Queen of Pentacles says that this person's very, very nurturing. They're trying to take care of everybody involved in a similar way to in the first dream, where I kind of had the two girls and the boy, and you know, the situation took a wrong turn, and I kind of stepped up into a very motherly role, where I was kind of like saying, I'm making sure everybody's okay, I'm taking control and making sure everybody's okay. The Queen of Swords would talk to me about, if this is the same person, it's somebody who's drawing very clear boundaries. They are explaining, you know, it's like how I stepped up and said, right, enough. I took control of the situation with my voice. Very much like my teacher training comes into play there, where you put on the teacher voice, so you have a nice sing-songy voice when everything's fine, and then if the kids start fighting, you go deep, you go loud, and the children will stop and listen to you. So my daughter in the background making funny noises there, just to confirm. So I asked, what was the energy between these two women? You know, is it that these two women are fighting? What's the energy between them? And I got the Queen of Cups. So if we're saying that this is two different women and the Queen of Cups is between them, it could be a third woman trying to bring a lot of love and emotion into the situation. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, it could be a woman between them trying to be the peacemaker, trying to bring, as I said, it's like this person trying to pour emotions onto the conflict, trying to, be the negotiator perhaps. But I'm seeing it, as I say, as this is all one person, this is an empress, because the empress is all four queens of the tarot. The interesting thing as well is, if it is tied to that Aquarius reading, the Aquarius reading had the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is the only queen that's missing here in this reading. Yeah, the Empress is all four queens of the tarot. Once you've kind of mastered all those different roles, you become the Empress, or able to be an Empress energy. So I feel like this is somebody who is being in a situation where there's a lot of conflict, in a situation that's very difficult. There's drama, there's conflict, there's chaos around them, and they're trying to heal from the situation, but at the same time take care of everybody involved, draw the boundaries, create the rules, and they're doing it with a huge amount of love. Okay, it's like the teacher in the classroom who breaks up the fight and says, look, these are the rules, gentle hands, all this kind of stuff, but they're doing it in a very nurturing way. So I'm seeing it as the same person, and I'm seeing it as extremely positive, the thinking woman taking action. The Star card then, the Star card got this Seven of Swords energy, which seems strange to me, because the Star is such a hopeful card. It's one of the most positive cards you could possibly pull from the tarot deck. So a huge amount of hope and healing there with that Star energy. But it comes in with this Seven of Swords, which is like the thief in the night. The meaning of the story of the Seven of Swords is that this person sorry about my kids being so noisy in the background. My daughters, they're both meant to be off sick with it. We've all had this kind of virus which has given us like migraines and made us really tired and hot. So I'm going to have to open my window again. But you know what kids are like. As soon as you're in sick, it's like, oh, playtime. So they're playing some Nautica and getting a bit excited. So if you do hear them being quite noisy in the background, sorry, not sorry. So yeah, the Seven of Swords, this is being quite sneaky. It's the story of it is this person is stealing swords from a battlefield so that the swords can't be used against them the next day. So it's almost as though somebody is trying to heal a conflict, but they're trying to do it in perhaps a surreptitious way. They're not quite being overt about the actions that they're taking. So it could be somebody's trying to sneak out of a situation that is quite dramatic, or it could be that they're trying to either pick the battles perhaps, or prepare for a battle by removing some of the ammo, if you like. It could be verbal ammo. The interesting thing that I'm noticing is that he's taking 5 swords and leaving 2 behind. And then we go into this 5 of Swords card here. So it's like he's had victory here. He's successfully taken the ammo away from other people. But it's come at some sort of a cost, because, as I say with that Queen of Swords energy, when you draw the battle lines, people get upset. Some people don't like the boundaries to be drawn, especially if it's like people who are taking advantage in a situation. They don't like it when those boundaries are drawn, because they lose out. So there's a sense of, yes, you've had some sort of victory here in this conflict, but it's come at a cost of perhaps other people seeing you as deceptive, or other people seeing you as perhaps a little bit manipulative in the situation. So yeah, just thinking where I'm up to here. The Five of Swords then is clarified by this King of Swords and the Four of Swords. So we have the King and Queen of Swords here. They're kind of counterparts in the tarot, but when the King and Queen of Swords appear in a reading, it can be a kind of crossed swords situation where perhaps there is some kind of verbal conflict being happening, or there could be some kind of legal situation, although I'm not seeing the Justice card, so I'm not inclined to say it's a legal situation, but it does feel like boundaries being drawn, truths being spoken, perhaps clarity coming into a situation. I am seeing this as a different person. I'm seeing all the feminine energy probably as one person. It could be 3 different women, so do take that as it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. And I'm seeing the King of Swords as a different energy. The King of Swords is very, very mature. They are strategic. They are the sort of person who is going to just to kind of explain the difference, you can see how the Queen of Swords has her sword raised because she takes action. She says what needs to be said. She's very clear. She's very honest, brutally honest sometimes. She draws boundaries, right? She takes action. The King of Swords is a little bit more strategic. He's a little bit more this energy, where the Queen of Swords is like doing it quite up front. He's a bit more... if I say this now, there could be conflict, so I'm going to not speak, which is why his sword is down, and I'm going to wait and see what happens. He's very, very mature when it comes to communication and action and strategy. So there could be some kind of maturing here. It could be that somebody says something and realizes, actually, if I say my truth, it causes conflict, so I'm going to kind of sit on my truth a little bit longer, and kind of play a bit more of a strategic game here. Could be that, but I'm seeing it possibly as 2 sides of the conflict, right? The battle lines have been drawn, something like that. It does come with a sense, as I said with this Five of Swords, it's like a hollow victory, right? You win, but at what cost? So this King of Swords, I feel, is the person who has won some sort of battle. Could be a war of words, but it has come at the cost of some sort of heartbreak here. The Four of Swords means a time of rest, a need to heal, recovery from a situation. So it could be, you've had that battle, it's time to go and have a lie down. Had the verbal battle, time for a lie down. And the 3 swords above him symbolize the 3 of Swords, which is actually a feeling of heartbreak, a feeling of emotional pain, if you like, but thinking it through. It's a processing card, processing that pain. He does have a hand on his sword, so he is ready to step up and take action, step back into that King of Swords energy whenever he needs to. So what we also have over here is this Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is working really hard on something. It could be that somebody has been quite strategic. Somebody has stayed out of the battlegrounds, right? Somebody's avoided, sat on the fence, avoided getting involved, been very... had very clear boundaries, stepped up and taken action, taken the lead, and drawn those boundaries when they need to, but also kind of like stepping out of the fray and not getting involved in the kind of like a day-to-day drama. It seems like it's being rewarded because this Eight of Pentacles, which is working very, very hard on something, really trying to kind of like master some sort of craft, and that can be like working on yourself as well. This is actually leading into the Ace of Pentacles. Now, the Ace of Pentacles is some kind of like brilliant opportunity, some kind of divine gift from the universe, or a new plan. Aces are very, very new, and Pentacles are something real and grounded and tangible. It's something that you can grab hold of and turn into something real. So for example, it's like an idea that can turn into a real project, or a seed that can be planted and grown. So the Ace of Pentacles, it's like it's a big opportunity for, like, it's literally like blossoming abundance, right? It's very similar meaning, blossoming abundance. So there's an opportunity here to take action towards this Ace of Pentacles, this kind of like new start in something. Could be a new job, it could be a new project, it could be an idea that's going to be quite profitable. So Ace of Pentacles, really, really good, and it looks like it's a reward for keeping out of that drama and working really hard on something. So the Ace of Pentacles was clarified by this Empress. Now this is confirming for me that I feel like this is all the same person. Somebody who is in a very very supportive energy. It's the sort of person who, the Empress tends to be the power behind the throne, if you like. She's quite capable of running her own kingdom. She's quite capable of standing on her own 2 feet and doing what needs to be done. But if you had an Empress and an Emperor together, she plays a more inspiring, supportive role. That doesn't mean to say that all women have to be Empresses and all men have to be Emperors. You know, you can have a man who's in the supportive role and a woman who is in the Emperor role. It's a role, right? It's not a gender. It's just I'm trying to explain how I'm seeing it. So do feel free to switch the genders around if you need to. So this is somebody who's in this kind of like it's boss energy, it's mother energy, it's the person who runs the household, runs the business, very much taking the wheel of destiny and steering that ship with their own 2 hands. So I do feel like it's kind of like somebody who has to it's the person who's normally playing the supportive role, but in the moment when they see things going wrong, they step up and they take action. It's like, I'm taking the lead here. I'm perfectly capable of steering that ship. So what it says to me, I don't know if everybody's going to understand this reference. It's one of my favourite characters from classical culture. I studied classics at university, but there was a queen called Tanaquil in the early history of Rome when there was kings, right? So early Rome. And she did play a very supportive, very inspiring role. And when her husband was ill, when he was attacked and he was ill, she stepped up and took control of the situation when everybody else was panicking, and kind of made sure that the kingdom passed into the hands of her son in a very kind of easy a way where there wasn't much drama. She kind of took control of the situation and made sure everything stayed stable and strong. So we do have this 4 of Wands, which talks about stability, you know, making sure that those foundations of a situation are really well built. The 4 of Wands it can be celebrating milestones, it can be parties, it can be events. So there could be some sort of event here going on for you, but I'm more seeing it as the need for whoever this female is, this Empress is, this thinking woman, a woman holding a heart. She is trying to make sure that despite some kind of conflict that's going on around her, she is in control of the situation, and she is making sure that everything is still strong and stable. So really, really nice. This came out to confirm all these queens. It could be that they share, if it's 3 different women, it could be that they share some kind of workplace or home, some kind of roots, right? I clarified what's going on with this Star and the 7 of Swords. And I got the Knight of Cups and the Tower. Somebody else had this week. I can't remember if it was Aquarius or Pisces. As I say, I just dipped into the Aquarius reading. I didn't kind of watch the whole thing. But somebody had the Tower clarified by the Ace of Cups. And I was like, that is the most beautiful kind of tower. It's a tower moment that comes in because somebody's showing love. Somebody's putting emotions into a situation. And this comes as a shock. So it's almost saying, it's like the person who, you know, when everybody's fighting, say you're at like a Christmas dinner, right? The family's fighting, everybody's arguing. You know, people keep stepping in with more and more opinions, more and more, you know, and it gets more and more heated. And it's like that one person can step up. It could be like a child. A child comes into the middle of the room and says, "Why are you fighting? I love you all. Why are you arguing when you love each other?" And it's like that person who brings the love into the situation. It's like that light bulb moment of, oh my goodness, why are we acting like this? Why are we doing this? So it could be that somebody expresses feelings and it comes as a shock to somebody. But it ultimately, with it being the Star card here, it could be hidden feelings as well with the 7 of Swords. This is a very, very good tower moment in a way, because it's coming through as somebody expressing emotion and it actually healing a situation where there's been a huge amount of conflict and chaos and drama. It's like the woman holding a heart is fixing this situation because they're bringing in love, right? So I guess I want to ask a few more questions. I want to kind of find out a bit more about the characters involved here. So let me just move everything to one side and then we'll kind of ask. All right, so let's find out more about this King of Swords, because he's the only male energy. No, again, gender, you can switch it around if necessarily, but the King of Swords is the only male character on the cards that's a character card, that's a court card, right? So tell me about this King of Swords. Oh, interesting, guys. We got the Lovers. So, yeah, this is a beautiful Lovers card for me as well. This talks about divinely guided love, making the choice, choosing love. It seems like somebody with that Tower and the Knight of Cups, it feels like somebody's choosing love, or somebody's realizing that love is the answer to this situation. So, okay, King of Swords and the Lovers card, I'm popping that away. I am seeing the Three of Swords. There could be definitely some kind of heartbreak situation here. And I'm going to say it, guys. I'm seeing underneath here, you've got the High Priest and the Emperor. So there could be something here to do with stability, a father, church. It could be marriage. I'm just pointing out because it was underneath and I spotted it. And then I also, underneath here, you also have like the Ace of Cups and the Hierophant. So could be some kind of marriage situation. It could be that it could be somebody proposing, right, with the Knight of Cups and the Tower. It's like, oh my goodness, was not expecting that, but it's ultimately good, right? It's a surprise. The Tower can be a surprise, a shake-up, but it's a surprise. Or it could be that somebody's, again, I'm not seeing the Justice card, so I was going to say it could, or the Five of Pentacles. So I was going to say it could be that somebody's going through some sort of divorce or separation with that Hierophant, and they need to do it in a very loving way. Like that's the solution to if they've perhaps been in conflict. I don't know. Take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. The Queen of Cups then. Tell me about the Queen of Cups. Whoa. Queen of Cups is trying to gather some information here. They want to know more about a situation. And here comes the Page of Cups. So I'm feeling hesitancy with this Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is trying to bring emotion into the situation, trying to be very loving, trying to nurture the people around them. But it's like there's this hesitancy of like, I need more information first before I move forward with this cup. The Page of Cups can be an apology as well. It can be, I'm apologizing for spying on you. It can be, I mean, 2 pages. It could be a mother of a air sign and a water sign, possibly. Pulling another card there, the Fool. They are ready for some kind of fresh start here. They're trusting their instincts. They are, the Fool is Aries energy. The Queen of Cups for me would be probably Scorpio energy, could be Cancer or Pisces, any water sign really, doesn't have to be. This would be Pisces for me. This would be Gemini probably. Yeah, this person, they're trusting their instincts. The Queen of Cups is they have very strong instincts, very strong emotional intuition. They're really, really trusting that in this situation, but there is this hesitancy where they're trying to gather some more information. They feel a little bit nervous about coming forward with some sort of emotion here. Right, let's find out more. Queen of Swords. Tell me about the Queen of Swords, please. Oh, hello. Let me just check which way. The Queen of Swords has done some shadow work. They are definitely drawing boundaries, but they're also letting the guard down. With the Seven of Wands in reverse, it's like this is not being defensive, not trying to get the upper hand, letting the guard down a little bit in regards to facing some kind of fear or doing some kind of shadow work. Tell me about that shadow side. That's the Devil card, Capricorn energy. Oh, hello. This is tricky because it's all in reverse. So the shadow side in reverse is like these two cards together, this is tricky. These two cards together, the Queen of Swords draws boundaries. So I would say the Queen of Swords is getting over some kind of addiction or some kind of mental process that holds them back, some kind of fear. The Queen of Swords is doing the work. They're doing the shadow work. They're getting over some kind of like a toxic energy in their life. Could be a codependency. This says that they're less guarded though. It could be that they were in some kind of toxic situation and were very guarded about it. And now this feels like they're opening up and communicating about some kind of shadow work that they've been doing. There's this feeling of like being out of control though. This Queen of Swords with the Chariot in reverse is like this person does not have control over their life. They're pulled in two different directions. They are not able to move forward with something. The Tower in the reverse could be a Tower moment that has passed. They've been through a Tower moment which led them to do this work. Or they're resisting a Tower moment. Like they're holding onto something that needs to fall. Or there's a sense with the Tower in reverse and the Chariot in reverse of things being out of their hands. They have no control of this situation. There's a sense of chaos and turmoil here, of not knowing what to do, I would say. I would say that the Queen of Swords normally would know what to do. It could be, again, that they have to act instinctively in the moment. The Seven of Swords in reverse is like not wanting to be deceptive, wanting things to be out in the open, wanting the clarity, but then there's this... It comes with this sense of like... It's almost like if I speak my truth, yeah, that's what it is. Here we go. If I let down my defenses, because the Queen of Swords has very strong boundaries, it's like if I let down my defenses and speak my truth about whatever this toxic energy is that I've been dealing with, it's going to bring in a Tower moment that I'm going to have no control over. It's going to feel very much out of my hands, but I don't want to be deceptive. I want to let my guard down. I don't want to be deceptive. But it's like it's almost like the moment something's said, that it's like then the Tower moment is here, it feels like. Just give me one more clarifier, please, on why that Tower moment is in reverse. I mean, the Queen of Swords is the thinking woman. Knight of Pentacles, yeah, they're trying to move out of they're trying to be very, very practical and logical. The Queen of Swords, if anything, is logical, a strategist. It's like, okay, I need to take steps out of this situation here. I know that this situation is toxic. I know that I know that that tower is going to crumble and fall, but I don't want to feel like my life is out of control. So I'm going to take slow and steady steps, very slow steps. It's almost like walking on eggshells, right, out of that situation with a plan. This is a practical plan. The Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving knight, but they are taking action. They are moving forward. So that is complicated. And then we've got the Knight of Wands following that. It's like once they're past the eggshells, once they walk through the broken glass carefully, like it's like once they're clear of that, they can run, is how that feels. So give that a bit of a shuffle. Who else do we have? There was Queen of Pentacles. Hello, Queen of Pentacles. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles has a lot to say, apparently. That's too many cards. I'm sorry, I cannot take that many cards. Let's go again. Queen of Pentacles, could you be a little bit more succinct for me? What do we need to know about this Queen of Pentacles, please? The Queen of Pentacles feels very, very trapped. Mentally trapped. They do not know how to move. So again, I feel like it could all be one woman dealing with different aspects of the life. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't know which way to turn. They feel trapped. They cannot figure the way out of this situation. They feel like their hands are tied. So that explains, if it is the Queen of Swords, why she feels like she's got no control of the situation. Why does the Queen of Pentacles feel trapped? Death card. The Queen of Pentacles fears some kind of ending. It feels like no going back energy, which is, again, is very similar to that Queen of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, and Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles fears, they feel very, very trapped because they've got a lot of fear around some sort of ending in regards to their own situation, their own material situation that they've put a lot of hard work and effort into. They've worked hard on something over time, and they fear the loss of the tangible things that they've built up over time. King of Cups, though, on the underlying there, which is very much, again, leading with love. It feels like love is the answer to all of these problems. I want to know more about the Empress, please. So tell me about this Empress here at the end of the reading, taking an opportunity. Which way, please? Not sure. Which way? The Nine of Cups in the upright would have been like wish fulfillment, wishes coming true, the ability to make themselves happy, to be good on their own. In the reverse, it's like either a lack of abundance here, a lack of success, a lack of emotional fulfillment from within. I would say that the Empress in the upright normally would have achieved this and gone beyond it, but there is this sense of, it feels like lack or disappointment. Clarify. Three of Pentacles. This Empress, I think, needs, there's this feeling of like working, I think there's this kind of loneliness here, because the Nine of Cups is the ability to find emotional fulfillment on your own. It's like, I don't need anybody else, I have everything I need. And the Empress does have everything that she needs. However, you know, this Three of Pentacles is like working hard on something over time, for a long time. I should say this is Libra, Taurus energy. And you can see that there's this feeling of like getting quite lonely. The Three of Pentacles is normally a team coming together. So this is sort of saying they've been doing something on their own for a long time, and I think they're ready to kind of like team up, or yeah, okay. I want to know a little bit more about the Tower moment and the Knight of Cups. Why is the Knight of Cups a Tower moment? Explain more about this Knight of Cups and the Tower moment. I don't know if that was meant to come out or if that just hit my thumb. Let me just kind of sort out these cards. I like to have them all the same way up, and then if they come out in the reverse, I know that they really want to be in the reverse. No, 3 cards, we'll take them. Oh my goodness, the Tower, and the Devil, and the Nine of Cups. There could be some kind of alcohol addiction here. You know, she is pouring herself a drink. It looks like she's pouring herself a lot of drinks. As I say, that somebody was breaking out of some kind of toxic cycle with that shadow side. Is some kind of addiction, some kind of codependency, something that keeps them small. But this is wish fulfillment. It's like something that looked like wish fulfillment to somebody actually came with a huge amount of toxicity. The Tower moment comes in to break people out of a situation, to rattle the foundations, to make sure that what has been built was built to last. If this tower is not suitable, it will fall when the Tower moment comes in. So there is this feeling of overcoming some kind of, it could be an obsession with some kind of wish fulfillment, but it comes in with love. It comes in with the expression of emotion. Anything else, please, here? Clarify the shadow side. Oh gosh, yeah, could definitely be some kind of big fallout with this. Lack of information on something. Lack of information on something. It looks like somebody's walking away from something that felt like the stability, because we've got all this Pentacles energy here. Could be walking away from a partner, a boss, a father. Walking away from a situation where there was shared wealth with other people. It feels like somebody's walking away from something that looked like it was going to be their forever home, but it turned out that there was some kind of toxicity in there. There was something. It's like it looked like the wish fulfillment, but then it wasn't. So the Tower moment is like the jailbreak, right? The Karma card is Yeah, Ten of Pentacles, shared wealth with other people. It's like it's your home, it's your workplace. It should be really, really good. The Karma card is like a judgment call, a rebirth, what was dead being shook up, and I don't know. But also with it being Karma in this deck, it's like it could be second chances. It could be second chances. It could be that you're giving somebody a lot of second chances, or the situation a lot of second chances. The King of Pentacles is normally really, really good though. The King of Pentacles is like nurturing, stable, dependable, solid. Earth sign energy, particularly Taurus. But there is this feeling of like something missing emotionally. So there's this need to leave, to go out, to find the Nine of Cups. This seems like a bit of a complicated situation. I'm going to be honest with you there. So let's get some kind of advice then here. How do I want to do the advice? I'm just filtering those cards back in there. Just give me a second. I'm going to go with relationship advice from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, I think. So, for the people who are resonating with this read, oh, right, straight away, yin energy. Oh my goodness, right? That's crazy. Yin energy. I'll tell you what I was thinking before I show you what's on the underlying. So I was thinking to myself, because clearly we've got a lot of feminine energy there, and there is that kind of masculine energy peeking through as well. I was thinking, anyone resonating with this reading, and I was going to ask advice for the feminine and advice for the masculine separately. And I was just kind of going over it in my head when yin came out. And then I looked on the underlying and we have yang. So one of these is going to be for you, one of them is not going to be for you. And again, doesn't matter if you're female or male. It's funny, High Priestess is on the bottom of this deck now. Use your intuition to guide you here. It could be talking about pulling both sides of yourself together. You know, the Chariot card we saw with the black and white horse. The Chariot card in reverse is like feeling out of control, feeling like two sides of yourself are being pulled in different directions. So it could be that there is definitely a need with that Empress coming at the end of the reading to take control, to take action, to take control of your own life, to bring the two sides of yourself together, the feminine and the masculine. So it could be that you want to take both pieces of advice. They are a little bit conflicting, because yin energy is about being receptive, about stepping back, about allowing things to flow to you, where yang energy is about pushing forward and taking action. This part of the reading does look like you're being encouraged to take action. So again, bit complicated, but take which one feels right to you with that High Priestess there. So yin energy, I'm going to read the relationship message. Let others take the lead right now. Your power lies in small gestures, soft awareness, and conscious surrender. By yielding the reins, you will find yourself effortlessly moving closer to what you truly desire. Permit others to tell you who they are and who they can be to you by allowing their actions to speak about them. You will be pleasantly surprised. Okay, maybe you're in receptive energy, or maybe you're in yang energy, in which case circumstances are supporting action on your part. It's okay to make the first move. Trust that you will quickly know where you stand. In matters of the heart, there is movement towards your highest good, and so go forth with assurance. Passion is in the air, and now is the time to dance to the tune of love. Take the lead. I don't know which way. I guess it depends on who you're associating with in that reading. Maybe the choice is going to be made for you, like in my dreams, where it was like I had that kind of enough is enough feeling, or I did something on impulse. I took action on impulse in both of those dreams. So it could be that you actually act instinctively, and you know, you don't have to agonize about the choice. The moment to take action will make itself apparent to you, and you'll know what to do instinctively with that High Priestess there. So I hope this reading is helpful to you. The song that I held back was clarifying the Knight of Cups and the Tower, and the song was You Are the Reason by Callum Scott and Leona Lewis. So a bit of a love song there. So yeah, take that if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. I'm going to leave it there, and I hope this reading was helpful to somebody out there, even though it started with my crazy dreams. Do take care, guys. Stick around, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.